Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Football. Match day 13 is here. Match day 13 is here. And an interesting one, a very, very interesting one, man. What a match this is going to be. All the injuries that we've experienced. My team going into match day 13, like 4 weeks ago, I knew only needed two players because Salah and Mikel had been eliminated. But now, literally 7 or 8 of my players are going to miss. So it's absolutely crazy. Let me just write here what my subs have been. I already made all 5 transfers. So 5 transfers made. Let me do this. Saka. I have just made my last sub, and Olise has just come into the team. Let's see. UCL, Salah. Sterling. And Sterling. There you go. So I've made all my 5 transfers. So far, I have taken out Gabriel, Michaelis, Salah, Musiala, and Sterling. I've brought in Saliba, Kunde, Yamal, Saka, and Olise. So those are my 5 transfers. Let me see if the team news is out. The Arsenal, Bayern, and Inter Milan team news. Let's confirm that. Let's check if it's out yet. Let's see. Real Madrid released their team so quickly. Let's do this. So that is how my team is looking right now. No, I don't like that. That's better. I'm nervous, man. I am nervous. I am nervous for the game. Nervous. That's better. So let me know how you guys teams are looking as we wait for more people to join. Team news is in 5 minutes. Okay. So that is how my team is looking. I have Soma in goal. I have Kunde, Saliba, Hakimi at the back, Dembele, Yamal, Rafinha, Olise, Saka, Lewandowski, and Mbappe. And then on my bench, I'll have 2 players who are not playing in Dumfries and Schlotterbeck, so only Guirassy to bring in. So my team has 4 Barcelona players, 2 PSG players, 2 Arsenal players, 1 Inter, 1 Real, 1 Dortmund. Should have been 2 if Schlotterbeck wasn't injured. Should have been 2 Inter Milan if Dumfries wasn't injured, and also an Aston Villa player. Ideally, if I was making a team right now from the start, I'd probably have a couple of attackers from PSG. I'd maybe have Rodgers from Aston Villa, but you can't ignore Rafinha and Yamal in that midfield, so you really have to go for them. A lot of people will have them, so there's that. Let me go to this other page so that yeah, that's better. Man, so many injuries. Get your questions in as per always. I'll answer them. Let me try and look for all the team news first. Let's check Bayern and Inter Milan. My team literally had 7 players who are not going to play in match day 13. That's crazy. Bayern. Today's captaincy is also very hard. Whoever you pick, you hope that it's going to work out for you. So Bayern's team is not out. Inter Milan's team. Let's see. No team news yet. The only team news we have here is DeMarco is not fit enough to start, but no confirmed team news yet apart from Real Madrid. And Real Madrid, it's quite easy to know who's going to start, especially the front areas. Ray says, after every season of praying for us to face each other, today we have the chance to show who stands on top. Yeah, finally. It's been many years. The Arsenal team is out now. Let's see. Merino, Martinelli, they've deleted it. Why did they delete it? They deleted it. The Arsenal posted the team news and then deleted it. How are you, Johnny? Nice seeing you, man. As always, how are you, FIFA bots? Nice seeing you as always. So my team is ready, already made all 5 transfers. Still have 2 injured players in my team, but can't do anything about that. Where's the team news, man? Come on. Everyone should do it like Real Madrid. Real Madrid post their lineup like yesterday. So my team, the way my team is looking, I currently have Soma in goal and Martinez, the 2 of them, one today, one tomorrow. And then Kunde, Saliba, Hakimi, Dumfries and Schlotterbeck are both injured. Dembele, Yamal, Rafinha, Olise and Saka, and then Guirassy, Lewandowski and Mbappe. Five players had to transfer out and still have 2 that are injured. I don't know if anyone is in a worse position. So you have Merino, Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard, Rice, Partey, Lewis, Kelly, Kivio, Saliba, Timber. I can't lie, I'm a bit worried about that left side. Bayern, Inter, waiting for your team news. What's up, Arnold? What's up? What's up? Is DeMarco available? They're saying DeMarco won't start. So let's just wait for the team news from Inter Milan. But they're saying he's not fit enough to start. It's going to be Augusto at left back. And there's a lot of players that we need to worry about. There's a few players who are on yellow cards. If they pick up yellow cards, they're going to miss out next game. And Bastoni is one of them. So depending on how your team is looking now, for example, my team, I have Dumfries and Schlotterbeck who are going to miss basically the rest of the season. So next time there's 3 transfers, I wouldn't really want to go for like a Bastoni and Vinicius, and then both of them get injured, and then all of us at the next match day, I need to like make 5 transfers again, and we only have 3 transfers. So it's a little bit tough with the injuries. I'm sure there's no one who's like escaped injuries. I'm sure there's someone at least Musiala or someone who had Gabriel or someone who had Salah. You know, like multiple different players who've been eliminated or injured. I'm doing Salah, Schlotterbeck, Dumfries, Mendy, and Grimaldo to Saka, Kim, Kunde, Nuno Mendes, and an Inter Milan defender. We'll talk about that Inter Milan defense. Let's wait for their team news first. But we already know Dumfries is out. They've said DeMarco is not going to start. And then on top of that, there is I think Pavard and Bastoni both have yellow cards. If they pick up a yellow card, they're going to miss next round. So and Augusto could be subbed for DeMarco. So could the only safe pick there be Damian? It could be. My team is full of injuries and 2 eliminated players. I was in the same scenario. I had 5 injured players and 2 eliminated. And that only came about like a couple of weeks ago because at the start of April, I think Gabriel wasn't injured yet, and Musiala wasn't injured yet, and Schlotterbeck wasn't injured yet. Like all that news has come out in the last like 1 week. So I've lost like 4 players in the last 1 week, which is a lot. Mubarak says, Arsenal fans, today's game is not an easy one. Yeah, assalamu alaikum, but today's game is not an easy one. Yeah, definitely not an easy one. We're playing against the ultimate gods of the Champions League, so that one will never be easy. How are you doing, Ike? Nice seeing you. What are your thoughts on Arsenal? This is our last opportunity this season, so what I can say is just play the team, don't play the badge. Because the truth is that Madrid have been conceding a lot of goals recently. I watched them against Valencia and Sociedad. And against you guys, Barcelona, you've been scoring a bunch of goals against them, but we don't have an attack like Barcelona's nowhere near. So hopefully you can win. And in terms of the squad, for me, I was thinking of going for Martinelli instead of Saka, but just because Saka's on set pieces, corners, and penalties, I just decided to stick with Saka, and he has a better chance of getting player of the match from the UEFA guys than Martinelli. But I was thinking Martinelli because of the recovery points and all that. Defensively, maybe just one defender. I don't think I can't see a clean sheet, to be honest. Playing with only one goalkeeper because they play each other. Yeah, tough situation. If you don't have enough transfers, then you'll just have to stick with that. You can't spend. You can't take a hit for goalkeepers. Not worth it. Will Ben White play? No. That will be Kivio. Hoping you can beat Madrid. That would be super, but we have to get a result today. And then at their place, if we had Gabriel, I really wish we had Gabriel. I would have, because there's a time we went to Man City this season, earlier this season, and Man City was still good, and we got a red card, and he just literally just packed the bus in the second half when they came to score in the 98th minute. So if he had a lead today, going to their place next week, yes, they can concede goals, but you just go and you play a back five with a counter attack. But you're not as good as, like, for example, Barcelona in counter attacks and all that. So we're going to have to use our strengths, set pieces, and Saka is back, thankfully, and all that. Rogers to Bellingham for -4. No, I don't like -4. No, it's not worth it taking a -4 right now. Now, a lot of people have players who are injured, so some people will take hits. But if you, for example, my team, as I said, I have 2 injured players still in my team, but I'm not going to take a -4 to take one of them out. No, I'm just happy to play 13 players, and then next match day I'll remove one of them, because I might take out Dumfries right now, and then I bring in Bastoni, and then Bastoni gets a red card, and it's not worth it at all. Will you pack the bus or gegenpress? I mean, possession style. We're definitely going to keep more possession today. I'm sure Madrid will let us have the ball. I'm sure if you look at the end of the game, we'll have like 65%. They'll have 35%. We might even have more shots than them. You'll find us having 13 shots and Madrid having 5. But the problem is, who is going to score those chances? That is where I'm worried. We could have 13 chances. Real Madrid could have 5, and then they could score 3, and then we might score 1. That is my worry. So I'm sure we'll have more possession. I'm sure we'll have more corners in the game. I'm sure it will be lively. But the problem is when Vinicius and Rodrigo get the ball, I'm a little bit worried about that left side. Rodrigo up against a very young Lewis Kelly, and Kivio, who, is not at the level of Gabriel. Did I miss anything? So let me take a look if the Bayern and Inter Milan teams are out. They're taking so much time today. What the hell? Just go to Bayern. So the Arsenal team is Raya, Timber, Saliba, Kivio, Lewis Kelly, Partey, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Martinelli, Merino. If you don't want Saliba and you want to be different, you can go for Timber, because it's going to be more attacking going forward. I chose Saliba because he gets more points in terms of recovery points. Bayern Munich, they have Urbig as their goalkeeper. My goodness. Kim defensively with Dyer, Guerrero, and who else? I don't like the way they write the team with the numbers instead of the positions. Anyway, Urbig, Kim, Kimmich, Goretzka, Kane, Sane, Dyer, Olise, Guerrero, Lema, and Stanisic. And then on the bench, players like Nabry and Muller and all those guys. So I think many people will have Olise and Kane. Maybe a couple will have Kimmich. I don't know how many people will have Sane. But yeah, I think Inter Milan are going to score. I think both teams are going to score. I think all 4 teams are going to score today. Is it true that the agent of Gyökeres is going to watch today's game? I saw that rumor, Mubarak. I saw the rumor. I would love Gyökeres to join Arsenal. If a player like that was playing today, I would be way more confident. If you get a chance, you can score. If it's us, between us and Man United, I'd be confident of getting him. And we need a player like that. And because we've gotten a new director from Atletico Madrid, that helps as well. So you have a bit of aura with the director. See. Who is playing for Inter Milan? Inter Milan. Let's check Inter Milan's team. Here we go. They have Sommer in goal. They have Acerbi, Pavard, Bastoni, Damian, and Carlos at the back, and then they have Mkhitaryan, Çalhanoğlu, Barella, and then Thuram and Lautaro Martinez. Well, a lot of changes there as well. And again, we have to be careful for the players who have yellow cards for the next round. Or if they pick up a yellow card, they're going to be suspended for the next round. So the players who are going to be suspended for the next round, if they pick up yellow cards, Bayern, Coman is not there anyway. Nabry is not playing anyway. Goretzka, Lema, and Sane. So if you have any of those players, if they get a yellow card, no game for them next time. For Inter Milan, Barella, Bastoni, Dumfries, and Pavard, but Dumfries is out. So Pavard and Bastoni, if you choose that as your defenders, if they pick up yellow cards, they're not going to be there next time. For Arsenal and Real Madrid, why is it? I know Real Madrid is Vinicius, Rodiger, those two stand out. If they pick up yellow cards, they're going to miss out. And then for Arsenal, I know it's Martinelli and Timber. Even Timber as well. If he picks up a yellow card, he's suspended for the next game. My team without transfers: Chesney, Debu, Disasi, Schlotterbeck, White, Dumfries, De Vrij, Musiala, Salah, Rafinha, Yamal, Dembele, Alvarez, Lewandowski, and Guirassy. So, the first thing you need to do, John, is always take out the players who are not going to be there completely. So you put White on the side first because he might still come on unless you still have an extra transfer after you've sorted out all your problems. So at the moment, your biggest problem is Salah because he's already eliminated. You need to take him out. And then followed by Musiala is out for the season. That's 2. Dumfries is out for like 5 weeks. That's 3. Schlotterbeck is out for the whole season. Actually, Schlotterbeck is 3, Dumfries 4. And then what was the other problem? De Vrij, Rafinha, Yamal, Dembele, Alvarez 5. So the players who are out completely need to take them out. So you will need to keep White in your starting lineup, and then you hope that he comes on and it does something, even gets you 4 points or something. If he doesn't, you just take him out for tomorrow's players. But make sure you don't take out Ben White before you take out Salah, for example. You take out the players who are definitely not going to play, and then you can keep White in your team because he's still there. His team is still there, and he will still come on, I would expect. So you can see how bad my team is. Your team is still better than mine. I had 7 injuries. So I had Dumfries. Let me look at the team again. So I had Dumfries. Actually, the transfers are scrolling down the bottom. So I had Salah eliminated, Mikhail eliminated, Gabriel injured, Musiala injured, Sterling suspended. Sterling was a 1-week punt, and he got me like 12 points, so I was happy with that. But yeah, he's not going to be in my team anymore. And then there's Dumfries and Schlotterbeck, so 7 players who are not going to be featuring this match day. So actually, I was thinking of taking out Dumfries first and keeping Sterling, because Sterling is going to be there next time, maybe even for 5 minutes. But so I needed a midfielder, so he's the only player I could have taken out. Arnold says, which Inter defender for this and return match? I'm thinking Damian, to be honest, because Bastoni and Pavard are 1 yellow card away from being suspended. Now, they don't have to get a yellow card, but if you want to take the risk, if you don't have too many other problems in your team, Arnold, you can just, just go with one. Maybe one of them, Bastoni or Pavard, but I'm just going to go for Damian because he doesn't have any yellow card risk and it's cheap and all that. So I would go for Damian to be on the safe side. For me, my only defender this week is Sommer from Inter Milan. So I couldn't do anything. It was either I bring in Olise or I bring in an Inter Milan defender. I chose Olise. I think every team is going to score anyway. My predictions are Bayern Munich 2, Inter Milan 1 for today. My deluded prediction, people would say, is Arsenal 2, Real Madrid 1 for today. And then Barcelona 3, Dortmund 1. And then PSG 2, Aston Villa 1. Johnny, could you end up facing you guys in the final again? Who knows? Let's get past Madrid. Let's get past Madrid. Can you guys give us Rafinha for this game alone or something? Let's see. Bayern are saying Guerrero might play as a midfielder. Bayern Munich are saying Guerrero might play as a midfielder. So Guerrero is a defender in the game. But that means Laime is going to play at right back, Stanisic at left back, Dyer and Kim at centre back, Kimmich, Goretzka, Olise, Guerrero, Sane, Kane. Okay. So Guerrero might be in midfield. Let me see, how much is Guerrero? I'm not going to go for him. I've already made all my 5 subs. I'm just checking. So many injuries. I'm sure maybe there's someone who had Upamecano. Davies is out for the season for a long time. He has an ACL injury. Lame 6.1. I don't like a midfielder who's going to play defender. No, I don't like that. Goretzka 5.3. Neuer is out as well. Coleman is out as well. Guerrero is 4.7. So that is not that bad, 4.7. And if he's going to play midfield, that's great. We can give you Pablo Torres for this game. Otherwise, the others would get tired. It's better than Sterling. Yeah, they've been, the way your games have been played, you literally played almost during an international break. That was crazy. Still won, though. You still won, but Olmo got injured in that game. I watched it. It was last Thursday or Sunday. But yeah, you still do have players. A lot of players. I expect you to beat Dortmund easily. Since now even Schlotterbeck is out, you're already going to beat them. Now that Schlotterbeck is out, you could finish the game tomorrow. And then semi-final is going to be tough. If you face Bayern, I think you're going to win like you did by many goals last time. But if you play Inter, a little bit difficult in terms of scoring against them. But that will be interesting. Barcelona-Inter, that would be very interesting. Fermin Lopez, that's Fermin Lopez, is differential. How much is the Fermin? Fermin 6.6. So he's definitely going to start. I think Izan who came on for Olmo that day got injured, right? But yeah, the team is out. Getting your questions as per usual. Captaincy is another interesting one. So obviously people would consider Mbappe is up against Kiwi on that side with Rodrigo. I currently have it on Saka, but Saka is not 100% fully fit. I have captaincy on him because Arsenal is playing at home and he's on penalties, he's on corners, and Madrid considered a few set pieces against Valencia, and Saka's corners are really good. And also player of the match. This UEFA guy is usually like picking my player of the match. You know, if you ask them to choose between Saka and Martinelli player of the match, they'll probably just say Saka. They love choosing Yamal as well. They love choosing Pedri as man of the match. The star boys, that's what they usually do with the player of the match. And Rafinha gets a lot as well. Mbappe gets a lot. Does anyone have Aston Villa players? I think Rodgers is a good pick. Rodgers is a good pick. And then Watkins 7.5 is not bad. And then the only problem with Aston Villa is that you don't know who else is going to play, whether it's Asensio, whether it's Rashford, whether it's Ramsey. Like, they have a lot of players who could play, but Rodgers and Watkins are good options for sure. I think PSG are going to win tomorrow, though. He or Gavi. Yeah, although the thing with Barcelona is the best options, I think, are Rafinha, Yamal, Lewandowski, Koundé, and Szczesny. So those are the 5 players that you'd go for if you want 5 Barcelona players. So, but differential, as you said, if you want like a Gavi or Fermin Lopez, that could be okay. Alexei says best midfield differentials. Johnny has given you one, Fermin Lopez. If you want one from Arsenal, I'd say Martinelli. I wanted to go for him instead of Saka, but I got a little bit wide that Saka is going to turn up. Rodgers from Aston Villa, many people own him, 6%. So I'd say those 3, Martinelli, Rodgers, and Fermin Lopez. Is there anyone else? I don't think there's any differentials at Bayern. Inter, not really. Barcelona, Real Madrid, the likes of Bellingham are not really differential. So those 3 really, I'll just go for those 3. And Kubasi. Kvaratskhelia is good. I forgot about PSG. Yeah, Kvaratskhelia is good on that left side, depending on how many minutes he played. I didn't have him. Last round I had Bakal and Dembele and was it Vitinha? He didn't have Kvaratskhelia, so it could be good. If you have the money, I think it could be good, especially for the home game coming up. I think it's I would, if I was choosing a team right now from the start, I'd have two attackers from PSG, so I'd probably go for Kvaratskhelia. But at the moment, I'm going with 4 Barcelona players. That's how much I trust you people, Johnny. And then 2 Arsenal players, 2 PSG players, 1 Inter Milan because Dumfries is injured, unfortunately. 1 Dortmund player because Schlotterbeck is injured, unfortunately. And then Martinez as my Aston Villa cover. And then 1 from Bayern. So next round, obviously, I will take out Schlotterbeck and Dumfries. And then I don't know if you're going to have a clear picture of who we're going to have in the next round. So what usually happens is you have to also start planning for the semifinals. So for example, if you have 4 Barcelona players and 4 Arsenal players, and then on Wednesday, Barcelona lose 4-0 to Dortmund and Arsenal lose 4-0 to Real Madrid, you have to start taking out those Barcelona players from before the second leg, even though you expect them to come like maybe have a comeback or something, or try to have a comeback. It's at least take out 1 to start building towards the next round, because you don't want to go to the next round having like 10 players missing. It rarely happens, but it did happen. I think 2 seasons ago, I had like 10 players eliminated from the round of 16. I think was it Real Madrid or Man City got eliminated, one of them, and then I had a lot of their players. I've just seen the new dynamic of predicting 6. Yeah, it's amazing. I think the link is in the description if you want to join the league. There's always a link for that. And the quarterfinal, you're saying the one that they're asking like extra questions, like are they going to score a penalty? Is this player going to assist? I love that as well. That's interesting. It's kind of rare. I mean, predicting the score at halftime. Yeah, there's that as well. Like, is it going to be 1-0, 1-1? Are they going to score a second half goal? Foot says, Guerrero, what are your thoughts? I wouldn't really usually go for him, but they're saying he could start in midfield. And I think that is going to be like, I've gone for Bayern Munich to win 2-1. So he likes attacking. I used to love Guerrero when he was at Dortmund. He used to be almost like an attacker. So if he plays midfield, I could. If you're going for Bayern defender, if it's not Kim, I'd probably go for him. Best FIFAbot says best PSG defender after Hakimi. Oh, there's not too many that I like over there. Probably just Nuno Mendes because it goes for a lot. I hope he's fit. So every time I check, I find someone is injured. Nuno Mendes is fit, I'm sure. I don't think he has injury. Yeah, he's okay. 5.8 million. So yeah, he loves going forward a lot on that left wing. Gurasi to Kane. If you have the free transfer and you don't have any other problems in your team, go for it. I'll do it. Will you be able to score 3 goals? Nah, I would not confidently say that. I predicted 2-1 for today. If we scored 3 goals against Real, I know for you guys, you're used to thumping Real Madrid. But for us, if you're able to score 3 goals against Real Madrid, that is something. I don't think we have enough attackers. That is something we need to sort out next season. And you have a lot of players who are not confident. Odegaard has had a bad season. Martinelli has had like a 4 out of 10 season. Trossard has had like a 4 out of 10 season. And our best attacker is half injured. He just came back. So, and the other players who could play center forward, Havertz, Jesus, are all out. So Merino is a midfielder who's going to play striker. So if you guys want a real differential, like who asked that question earlier? It was Alexei asked best midfield differentials. I told you Martinelli, Fermin Lopez, and I told you what did I say? Martinelli, Fermin Lopez, and Morgan Rogers from Aston Villa. If you want Merino is going to play up front, it could be an option if I think he's going to score. I'm a punt on Kvaratskhelia and Guerrero. I think I'm getting bored. Yeah, if you want to take a punt, no problem. Differentials are not a problem at all. I mean, last time I went with Sterling, and Sterling got me like 12, 13 points, and he had never ever assisted or scored the whole season. So that was great. Because no one had him as well, so that usually helps. He had 0% ownership, so only like 300 people had him or something. Thoughts on Vitinha could be an option again but midfield though, I think you have to have Rafinha and Yamal. I think you have to have at least a midfielder from Bayern. I mean, unless you have Kane and you don't want to lease it, then you can go for Vitinha. But Vitinha, I'd look for him in the home leg, not their away leg. Patch a good option? I wouldn't say so. There's so many other options. So again, you can go for a couple of differentials, but like for example, in my team, I have a lot of there's players who are highly owned, like Rafinha. How many people have Saka right now? 5%. I mean, he was injured, so I guess people took him out. But Rafinha, Yamal, they're all highly owned. And then there's Hakimi, highly owned, Kunde, 15%. So in my team, I would probably be able to go for a differential. If I could, I would have gone for a differential. But I needed to bring in players like Saliba and Yamal. But don't go for too many differentials. Pacho is owned by 3%, and I'd go for their fullbacks, more attacking. Really good option, Merino. Yeah, he's going to play striker. Will Rice get an assist? Rice is a player I've always wanted to have in my team, both FPL and UCL, but because his corners, my goodness, his corners are like shots, and his free kicks as well, crosses, all that, and he goes forward a lot. But that, it feels like 5-point-something million. How much is Rice right now? Oh, it's raining outside. Arsenal. Where is Rice? Is 6 million. I'd still go for Marino first though, because he's going to play as a striker, so it's much better. FIFA bot says best 5 defenders. I would say Damien, Kunde, Saliba, Hakimi, Rudiger. Those 5. But Rudiger is a question mark because he has a yellow card. If he gets another yellow card, suspended, and he's also playing away from home. But I like Kunde a lot, and I like at least one defender from Inter Milan. I didn't say Bastoni because he has a yellow card as well. Odegaard or Olise, I'd say Olise. Again, depends. So in my scenario, I already have Saka, so I can't also go for Odegaard unless Arsenal really surprise us today and go and score those 3 goals Johnny was asking for. I'd go for Olise. But if you already have Kane and you already have Sane, then you can go for Odegaard. But depending on how the rest of your team looks. But if it's just a question, I'd say Olise. Nuno Mendes or Kunde have a Kimi. Nuno Mendes or Kunde have a Kimi. I'd go for Kunde. I'd mix it up. I'd try to cover every team. So for me, I have 1 Barcelona, 1 Arsenal, 1 PSG. I had 1 Inter, 1 Dortmund, but they're injured. Midfield, 2 Barcelona, 1 Bayern, 1 Arsenal, 1 PSG. So the players I think that could punish me, one is Rodrigo, because he's playing on that right side where Arsenal are weak right now. So Rodrigo might be able to punish us on that side. And then I would say the other one that I'm really scared of not having is I'd say Kane. Yeah, Kane. I went for both Kim and Guerrero, no Inter. Wow, you're brave. I think Inter Milan are going to score though. That defense with Lima and Stanisic, that's nowhere near their first team defensively, because even their goalkeeper, that's like their 3rd choice goalkeeper as well. You're brave, Arnold, because that Bayern team, man, that defense, they have a lot of injuries. I still have wildcard, that's why. Or if you still have your wildcard, you're in a very good position, man. You're very lucky. I wish I had a wildcard right now. I'm happy with my team. I'm happy with how the team is. Captaincy, as I said, Mbappe, Saka today. Who else is playing today? Bayern, Kane, obviously. And then tomorrow, it has to be Rafinha, Lewandowski, one of those Barcelona players. Dembele is not bad as well, depending on which team you trust the most. So if my predictions go correctly, I'm expecting Barcelona to go through. So I'll have 4 players in the next round. I'd have 2 players from PSG at least. Yeah, but if my prediction comes true, I'd have Martinez missing. But I predicted Inter Milan to go through to the next round. So there's that. How are you, Ezra? Hey, Glenn. Hope you're doing well. Have many questions. Have Rogers at the Emmy. Need to transfer one out for Saka. Who? Second question by Mendes, Hakimi or Mendes, Rudiger, Skelly. Is Skelly a defender in this game or midfielder? Skelly is a midfield in the FPL. Skelly is a defender here. 4 million. Wow. Skelly would go for him if you don't have enough cash. That's the only way. Rudiger avoid because he's 1 yellow card away from being suspended. Hakim is the answer to that one. He's very highly owned and he's incredible. He can take free kicks as well and all that. So Hakim is the option there. If you want to take out one for Saka, it has to be Adeyemi. You have to keep Rogers. Rogers is on fine form. Adeyemi is away to Barcelona, so I'd go for take out Adeyemi. Chesney, David Isasi, Saka, Vitinha, Rafinha, Mal Dembele, Kane, Lewandowski. That's good enough. So you start. How many players do you have playing today? Kane, 1. Saka 2. Okay, we won't get to too many players. So you just start Ben White today. Because you already made your 5 transfers. You just start Ben White today. Hope he comes on, and if he comes on and gets 1 point, that's okay. You just take him out. You bring in someone tomorrow. If he comes on and gets an assist or gets 6 recovery points and gets 4 points and you want to keep him, that's okay. So just have Ben White in the starting lineup in case he comes on. If he doesn't, you just take him out. Essentially, if you can't do Rudiger, cheap. Is he also on a yellow card? Did I say he's also on a yellow card? Let me confirm for you guys the Real Madrid players who have a yellow card. As an Arsenal fan, Arneld, I want us to target that side. That's Saka, but Rudiger is playing on that side though. I need Merino to try and bully Asensio. Let's see. Because Rudiger is going to be tough. My dream, Ben White scoring the 3rd goal for Arsenal. That will be perfect. You'll get your points. And we'll get a win. Everyone wins. Why not? Surely if Sociedad can score 4 goals against Real and Valencia, who have not won an away game all season, can win. Surely we can score a goal, surely. Thankfully, Saka is back. If Saka was not there and Gabriel was not there, I'd really not be looking forward to this game at all. So Real Madrid players who could be suspended: Rudiger, Camavinga, Lucas, Modric, Vinicius, Endrick. So Asensio is not on the list, so Asensio is safe. Arsenal, it's Rice, Martinelli, and Timber. That would be bad news. If Declan Rice got a yellow card and he missed the Bernabeu, that would be bad news. You badly need a player like Rice who's going to cover a lot of ground over there. See. So you only have 40 minutes to go. So I think I'm going to captain Saka. I'm not going to captain Mbappe against my team. Nope. But that is a biased look of it. If you're not an Arsenal fan, you can obviously just go for Mbappe or Rodrigo. Thank you, Ali. This is one of my favorites. This one in the Japan one. I love the Brazil shirts. So yeah, and I'm wearing Vinicius shirts as well, which is not great in terms of. I mean, I don't have anyone written at the back, but Martinelli also represents Brazil. But you get what I mean. 20 minutes to go. Not 20 minutes, 40 minutes to go. So going through the team news again. So make sure if you're making your 5 transfers right now, don't go for like Rudiger and Martinelli and Vinicius and Bastoni, like multiple players who could miss out next game if they pick up yellow cards. That would be disastrous. And I'm not scared. That's great as well today. I'm not scared. I think I'm looking at it like, let's just see what happens. Let's try and play like Johnny's team and see what happens. Arsenal's bench is Tierney, White, Zinchenko, Trossard, Jorginho. Yeah, you see that bench, it's only like really Ben White and Trossard. I would say Timber picks up a yellow card, is suspended. That would be bad news as well. If one of those fullbacks picks up a yellow, I think Ben White comes on. I think Trossard definitely comes on as well. And I think probably Tierney. If Ben White comes on for Timber, Tierney will come on for Lewis Kelly. Barcelona fans are supporting Arsenal, and then there's all those English teams that are supporting Real Madrid. You think Arsenal will win today, says Antonio? Yeah, the delusional prediction is 2-1 Arsenal today, and then it's going to be tough at their place. The problem with the problem with the Real Madrid is, if you watch the game today, Arsenal will have more possession, will have more shots, will have more corners, will have all that. But my only worry is Real Madrid can play very badly, but they still score 2 goals against you in the last 5 minutes and it's over. That is on my only worry. They do that a lot. They can play very badly, but they'll still find a way to beat you. That's usually, and that would be painful if we have another game where we have like 10 shots and we miss so many chances, and then Mbappe gets 1 goal, and then if they get a penalty today, I'm sure Vinicius will not take it. Mbappe scores and it's 2-0. That would be a nightmare. We can't go there having lost today. It will be over. Rafinha too. Rafinha as well, yeah. Double Barcelona defenders or double PSG defenders? Double. I prefer having Hakimi and Mendes. Have Rafinha, Ulisse, Salah, Rogers, Adeyemi. Could go Salah to Dembele, Adeyemi to Saka. Sounds good. Yep, that sounds good. Gabriel to Hakimi. That sounds good as well. Virgil to Mendes. Half Kim Dumfries to who? Okay, so you have Rafinha, Ulisse, Salah, Rogers, Adeyemi. Saka, Gabriel. You already have Hakimi. You already have Mendes. I'll go for Saliba, Ezra. Kunde or Saliba. So if you don't have Kunde, Kunde. If you don't have Saliba, Saliba. One of them. Why don't you have the captain Odegaard in your team? I just prefer Saka because he takes the corners. If you get a penalty, he'll take the penalty. All that. And then Saka is just more lively. He's our best player. So, and also if it helps, Odegaard has scored like 2 goals this season. So that's not great as well. He's playing against his former team. Usually people who play against their former team score. Kiwi as fullback. No, Kiwi is playing as a centre back. Fullback would be... The last time Kiwi played in the Champions League as in those positions, he played against Bayern Munich last season, and Sane destroyed him on that left side. Completely destroyed him. So we're going to miss Gabriel either way. Having Lewis Kelly and Kiwi on that side, scary. And it's not, Lewis Kelly is a very good defender, but he's very young. So he needed someone to help him out, and Kiwi is the one who's going to help him out. Central defender, yeah. Calafiori would have been the one to play there, but he's injured as well. Saka, Rudiger, that is easy. Saka, Rudiger also, if he picks up a yellow card, suspended. Saka, Odegaard, Saka. What's your favorite captaincy option? Kane, Mbappe, Saka. Like in Madrid, don't have great substitutions on the bench, don't they? So let me see. Let me check their bench. Adagula, Hendrick, Lucas Vasquez, Fran Garcia, Brahim Diaz. I don't know, Johnny, man. Brahim Diaz always scores for Morocco and all that. Lucas has like 20 times the experience our teams has in terms of winning this competition. But yeah, the first team, like, if I saw Mbappe going out and they bring Hendrick, I'd be like, oh, thank goodness, at least, If Trossard comes on for who? If Trossard comes on, it's going to be for... I'm thinking Saka. That's a very tough question as well, because it depends on how the game goes. If we have the leader, for example, 2-0 or something, he could ask Merino to go back to defense or midfield and then take out maybe, a Partey or someone if Partey has a yellow card, and then Trossard up front. But if you're just to ask me right now who's going to go out for Trossard, I'd say Martinelli. But it could also be Saka. I don't know if Saka can play 90 minutes. It could be Saka out and then Martinelli to the right side, Trossard to the left side, depending on how many minutes Saka can play. Holmes says if our captain does not work out tonight, is Rafinha the go-to captain? Yeah, 100%. Dembele captain today. Dembele is playing tomorrow. Have Szczesny, still Kunde or Saliba. If you have Szczesny, I'd go for Saliba then. It's raining heavily outside. Hopefully nothing flickers on and off. So under pause your favorite captaincy option. Those are the favorites, but I don't have Kane, and I'm not going to captain Mbappe against my team, so I'm just going to captain Saka. Also, I'm trying to get to the top 1,000 in terms of ranking. I'm 1622 right now. So if Saka does score an assist or something, that would be huge. Not many players here are differentials. Rafinha, Mbappe. I would need Saka and, Saliba. Saliba, how many people have Saliba? 21%. That's not much of a differential as well. Hopefully, in my case, Inter Milan don't keep a clean sheet because many people have double ups there. 3J says, hi, Bado, do you think Rogers to Olise, Vitinha, Dembele, Rafinha, Saka, or Ben White? Let me read that again. What do you think Rogers to Olise? I do like Rogers as an option, but if you don't have any attacker from Bayern, I think Olise is great as well. But I have this tempting feeling of keeping Rogers. I would love to have Rogers in my team, but I couldn't because I needed to bring in. Okay, so what I did, I brought in Olise for Rogers. So if that helps you, if you want to make that transfer, go ahead. But I'd really have loved to have Rogers. If I had Rogers, I'd keep him. But I just decided to go for Olise because I don't have any other Bayern Munich player. Vitinha, Dembele, Rafinha, Saka, or Ben White, De Vrij, Tukim, and Saliba. If you don't have too many injuries in your team, then you can take out Ben White. But if you have injuries and players who already been eliminated, I'll just keep Ben White and just hope he comes on. Bastoni, Mendes, Hakim. Am I not understanding that second part? So Olise, Vitinha, Dembele, Rafinha, Saka, or Ben White, or De Vrij, Tukim, or Saliba. There I would go for Saliba. And then but Saliba is also because he's very good at ball recovery. He doesn't have to keep a clean sheet. He can still get you 5 or 6 points. Pastor, what do you think? The question is confusing me, 3J. How you had so many R's and N's and brackets and all that. Is De Vrij on the bench, or is he injured? Can you rephrase that question, 3J? It's very confusing. Popcorn and Pep's best snack combo in watching Champions League. I'd say popcorn and Coca-Cola, not Pepsi. Pepsi are the sponsor of the Champions League. Yeah, I know I say that, yeah. I mean, Heineken are as well. So if you want Heineken. Barn says, hi, how are you? I hope Madrid doesn't steal the cannon from your shield. Hopefully. I mean, I'm not scared of them like scoring 4-0. Nah, they're not going to score 4-0 against us. That's why I said like it's going to be the painful one. If they beat us, it's going to be the 2 goals in the last 10 minutes and it's over. Not the painful one. Yeah, but if it was 8 years ago when we had Mustafi and Kolasinac and they had Ronaldo and Bale, then I would be very scared. Very scared. That Real Madrid was very dangerous. They were scoring 4-5 goals against Atletico in the final, against Juventus in the final. That was a dangerous team. But they definitely have the Champions League aura for sure, better than anyone else. But the 3 things that are making me hopeful that we can get a couple of goals is because of their results against Sociedad and Valencia and all that. And also the Champions League this season, they've actually not been that great. And who else? The other reason is their fullbacks. So I'm hoping Saka can have the better of Alaba. FIFABot says Free Palestine. My mom says on the predictor app, I predicted Arsenal to win 3-1 and Inter Bayern to draw 1-1. My predictions in the predictor app are Arsenal 2, Real Madrid 1, Bayern Munich 2, Inter Milan 1, Barcelona 3, Dortmund 1, PSG 2, Aston Villa 1. Those are my predictions for the first leg. But I also predicted if Real Madrid are going to beat us at their place and Inter Milan are going to win at their place. Barcelona, Dortmund will probably draw away. And then PSG, Dortmund will be an interesting one. It could be like a 2-2 in the second leg. So those are the predictions, Mahomes. Those are the predictions. Can I go to the prediction tab? Or is it going to overload? Let me just go to the predictions tab just a moment. Let's see the prediction tab. Predict. Let's see. Let me show you guys my predictions. It's raining heavily outside. Goodness. Let's go to my predictions. Let me read 3J's question again. Sorry you had to resend it. I just didn't understand it. So I have last transfer in midfield. I have Vitinha, Dembele, Rafinha, Saka, okay? And Rogers that I'm thinking of swapping for Lise. Okay, so Vitinha, Dembele, Rafinha you can't swap. Saka, I think you've brought him in. Dembele, Vitinha, Rogers. Okay, if you really want to Lise, if you're to ask me 3G, I'd actually take out Vitinha for Lise. If you have the cash and all that, that is what I would do. I would keep Rogers. Other option would be swapping one of De Vrij White for Kim or Saliba. Okay, so I'd probably take out Vitinha for Lise, but if you want Rogers out, that's the only other option. And then for defense, I'd take out De Vrij. De Vrij for Kim is fine. I'd advise you to keep Ben White just in the starting lineup in case he comes on. So I wouldn't really also tell you to bring in Saliba and double up. Not really. Barcelona to win 3-0, PSG to win 2-0. So these are my predictions. I have gone for Bayern Munich 2, Inter Milan 1. I've played the booster there. They have those extra questions, as Johnny said. Which team will score first? I've gone for Bayern. How do you scroll here? Who will score? What will be the score at halftime? I've gone for 1-1. Will someone score a penalty in this match? I said yes. 16 points. My goodness. Will Ken score? I said yes. Will Inter Milan keep a clean sheet? I said no. Arsenal 2, Real Madrid 1. They asked which team will score first. I said Arsenal. What will be the score at halftime? I said 1-0 Arsenal. Will there be a goal in the second half? I said yes. Who will score first? I said Saka, 10 points. Will Rice get an assist? I said no. And then Barcelona Dortmund, I said 3-1 to Barcelona. Rafinha will score first. Will there be a goal in the first half? Yes. Will Guirassy score in this match? I said yes. Will Rafinha get an assist? Yes. So I've gone for Rafinha to score an assist. Who will be the player of the match? I said Rafinha. I really believe in Rafinha. I've gone for PSG 2, Aston Villa 1. Who will score first? I've gone for Aston Villa. What will be the score at halftime? PSG 2-1. So Aston Villa to score first and then PSG scoring twice in the first half. Will there be a goal in the second half? I just said yes, although my prediction says 2-1. I just went with yes for the fun of it. Will someone score a penalty? I said no. Will Dembele score? I said yes. So those are the predictions for match day 13. Barcelona to win 3-1 against Dortmund. Yep. Do Dortmund have to score by them, or will Barcelona keep a clean sheet? I don't think anyone will keep a clean sheet. I've gone for all 8 teams to score this week. 2-1, 2-1, 3-1, 2-1. If there was someone who had the best chance of keeping a clean sheet, I would say Bayern. Dortmund have not been great this season, and now that they have so many injuries anyway. 5 of my players are starting today. No surprises there. Didn't expect any of them not to be there. So let me know how your teams are looking. Do you remember when Ajax beat Madrid? Oh, yeah, I remember. I think they won at the Bernabeu. That's the season where they got to the semis, right? So I think they beat... That's the season they had players like Delete when they were good. I remember that. I think they won at Bernabeu. I know they scored more than 2 goals at Bernabeu. I think that's the season, right? The season that they went and lost to Tottenham. I think that's the one. They also beat Juventus that season. I think Juventus had Ronaldo. Ajax were good. I remember. Yeah, it was a lot of goals. My goodness, it was at the Bernabeu, right? Yeah, I remember that. That's the time Ajax were really good. I remember the lead scoring from a corner. I think against Juventus, that's the thing I remember from that season. But that they were a proper team those days, man. I don't even know how they lost to. I don't know how they lost to Tottenham. I don't know. Maybe they would have beaten Liverpool in the final. You never know. We need a big game from Odegaard today. He has not been great this season. He needs to have a big game. And Kivio, you have to have the game of your life, man. The game of your life against Mbappe and Rodrigo. Modric is full of experience. I'm just hoping he doesn't have the energy to run with Rice for the whole game. Tchouameni is suspended. That's a good thing for us. But some good battles, man. I think Rice will be up against Bellingham. And then there'll be obviously Alaba, Saka. There'll be Lewis Kelly and Rodrigo. That will be an interesting one as well. Odegaard and De Bruyne didn't play well this season. Yeah, I mean, both were injured. De Bruyne has been injured as always, and then Odegaard was injured for like 2 months. But yeah, you could for Odegaard, I don't know if he ever recovered from that injury fully or he just rushed him too quickly, but he's not had a good season. And then De Bruyne is kind of approaching his end, so I wasn't even surprised when he said he was going to like move on after this season. But De Bruyne has done a lot in the Premier League, man, so we need Odegaard to start doing that from next season. My team: Kane, Mbappe, Lewandowski, Dembele, Rafinha, Lise, Saka, Timber, Kimi, Kim, Yamal, Nuno, Donnarumma, Schlotterbeck, and Trubin. Have you already made your subs? Again, for those who are just joining, you have players who are, if they pick up a yellow card, they're going to miss out. In your team, a player like Timber is an example. If Timber picks up a yellow card today, he doesn't play the next game. Forward line, I like it. Midfield, I like it as well. You the Yamal, Rafinha, that one is okay. You actually have the same midfield as mine. Defense: Hakimi, Kim, Nuno Mendes. You have 3 defenders from PSG. Wow. Mendes, Donnarumma, and Hakimi. I've gone for PSG. I've gone for Aston Villa to score, so that will be interesting. But obviously PSG at home, so that is a better chance. PSG are really good. Yeah, they've clinched the title already. I mean, you say that though, but they're also almost losing to like a Division 1 side the other day. Even if, but they've been very good in the Champions League. Against Liverpool, they're really good. Even if I'm a Barcelona fan, I think Adem will score. So just for Saka. Rogers Adeyemi. Okay, if you think PSG are really good, then you can just go for Rogers out, Saka in. No problem. But what I was thinking as well is I'm also looking at the second leg, and I think Rogers is a better option in the second leg than Adeyemi. I'll end this a little bit earlier than usual to go and get prepared for the Arsenal game. Today is big day. Big day. How do you guys really feel when you're about to play Real Madrid, John? Is it like, whatever, you're going to beat them again? Or is it usually like, oh, nervous? You never know what is going to happen. I do miss the old El Clasicos, though. The Ronaldos and the Benzemas and the Higuains and Messi and Villa and Pedro, all those guys. Not really. Dortmund perform at their home better. But who's on good form right now? I'd say Aston Villa is on better form than Dortmund right now. But go with your instinct, as well. If you feel like Adem is going to score, go for it. And if you're a Barcelona fan and you feel that you can go for it. Do you know Madrid have problems with Bernabeu? Which kind of problems? Like results-wise or what? If it's results-wise, I know they've lost to Valencia and drew with Sociedad and all that. So I'll go for around 1 hour and a few minutes. So reminder my predictions: 2-1 Arsenal, 2-1 Bayern, 3-1 Barcelona, 2-1 PSG. And the second legs are next week, so you won't have too long to wait for. Our problems with the retractable grass, okay. Hopefully that doesn't cost us next week, eh? Hopefully that doesn't cost us next week. They'll probably sort it out, man. Perez doesn't mess around. It's not optimal conditions. Then they should play in another ground. You can't play at the Bernabeu. Play it in a neutral ground. Yes, that is what should happen. Play it in a neutral ground. No fans in the stadium. Let's do that for the second leg. Or we play it at Barcelona's ground, and then we have a lot of Barcelona fans in the stadium supporting Arsenal. There's no way Barcelona would give Real Madrid a stadium to use even for a week. Real Madrid wouldn't even ask for it, would they? I didn't know that actually about the Bernabeu. How long until Camp Nou is ready, by the way? Or No Camp, however you usually call it. The refereeing in Spain is crazy. Oh my God, have you seen the refereeing in England? It's terrible. The Spanish referees are definitely better than English, even though there's been a lot of penalties that have been shaky and all that. I saw a referee getting tackled the other day as well in Spain. I saw Valladolid players fighting when they lost to Getafe the other day. It's worse. I don't always watch all the La Liga games. Whenever there's no like Premier League game, I watch La Liga. But I'd say the teams that I've watched most this season are Barcelona. Atletico always comes at a good time. I watched them against Sevilla the other day. So Barcelona, Atletico, Real Madrid are the ones I've watched a lot. And somehow I always end up watching Getafe games and Sociedad games, and Villarreal games are always on TV as well, for some reason. So I don't get to watch all the others, like Celta Vigo at home against Valencia, because they would usually clash like with an Arsenal game or Liverpool game. I do try to watch all the highlights, though. Maybe they usually cut that out of the highlights. PSG 3, Aston Villa 0. I'd be happy with that, by the way. What I don't want to happen, Baron, is Real Madrid beat Arsenal, and then Aston Villa beat PSG, and then Aston Villa come and beat Real Madrid. Oh my goodness. They'll start talking about Emery again. Why did Arsenal sack Emery? That would be terrible. And or imagine Arsenal beat Real Madrid, Aston Villa beat PSG, and then Aston Villa beat Arsenal, and then Aston Villa go to the Champions League final. You got stolen. What I know is that you guys, the way they've scheduled your games are terrible. I think you drew 1-1 the other day. Is that the game you're talking about? It was 1-1, right? Yeah, I think it was 1-1. I don't remember the team, but it was 1-1. Mallorca or someone? 50 minutes to go. So if you have any other transfers to make, you need to finalize it. Okay, so I'm going for 1 more minute, and then I'm going to end it a little bit earlier today. Man, I would love it if you can beat Real Madrid, man. That would be amazing. Betis, yeah, that was the game. That was the game. But Betis won very good form though. I think they had won like was it 8-9 games in a row or something. Anthony playing well and all that. So yeah, Betis is. I don't think Betis is a bad point to lose. Oh, I know it was at home, but I think Betis were really on good form. And Real Madrid lost, so yeah, you're still in a good position. I mean, they didn't rob us with penalties, but with fouls that weren't fouls. Oh, that was the game that was at the same time with there's something I was watching at that time. I was checking the scores. I remember I kept on checking the game, but there's something else that was going on at that time. I remember. Can't remember. Something was going on at that time. I'll try and rewatch the highlights of that game. But yeah, maybe if there's no Real Madrid fans there, maybe they want them to win the league. Who knows? Let's hope that doesn't cost us today, Johnny. Let's hope that doesn't cost us today. But I appreciate you guys watching. I'll end it early. I need to go prepare for the Arsenal game. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.